Okay, well, very good afternoon here at the Halifax Curling Club. We are here on sheet two with a very exciting game, very important game because coming down to the playoffs, so all these wins matter. We are showing today Team Ha from South Korea against Team Grandy from British Columbia. So, an exciting game. The draw to the buttons have been made, and hammer and everything's all set, so we're just about to get underway here. So go grab a drink, sit back, relax, watch some amazing curling on stewcurls.com or curlingzone.com. You can watch some great streaming all weekend here at the Stu Cells 1824 Halifax Classic. As we start, we have to always thank our amazing sponsors, Steel Subaru, Neon Train, and myself, Stuart Sankey from Toronto of the Stu Cells Realty team. Proud to have this Halifax event as part of my series. And if you're not doing anything tonight and you're in the area, come on down because we have a patch here. Sponsored by Gahan House and the Murphy Hospitality Group. We had a great band last night. We were dancing and jigging till 1 in the morning. And so the club's here. The bar is awesome. The bar staff's great. We have some chowder on tonight. If you want some good old East Coast chowder, come on down to the club and hear some music, have some drinks, watch the quarterfinals, which are going to start at 8 o'clock tonight. So just starting off here with lead rocks here on sheet 2. Some people might be watching and go, why is it sheet 1, 8, 2, and 4? It is because that's when the Halifax Curling Club was founded in 1824. Very excited next year, their 200th anniversary. So that's going to be a fun year here at the club. So if you're watching on TV, that's why you'll see the 1, 8, 2, 4 sheets. And we're here on sheet 2. So we're off to a really clean start here. No guards, just draws and hits. Probably testing the ice, see how it swings, getting the speed. So a pretty easy start here for the first end.
Yeah, big kick. I wasn't convinced. Sweet. We're getting like this much of it. Yeah, I kind of felt like it might be, so I just like overkicked and I was like, I think it's fine.
So pretty straightforward hit here. I think we're just going to be trading hits back and forth in the first end here. So we always have to do a big shout out to our ice techs and Adam, who does the ice here in the Halifax Curling Club. I've talked to most of the teams and they've all raved that the ice has been awesome. So we like to hear that at events because curlers love great ice to curl on. Oh, there we go, a little bit of a little change up, but I still think we'll see a pretty easy hit and clean game. So keep in mind, tonight at 8 o'clock, we're going to be having our quarterfinals. Still some places up for grabs. We're doing a pool system here at the Sioux Cells Halifax Classic. So the top team from each pool will go on, and the second place in the pool depends on wins, losses, and draws to the button. So we still have some teams that are in the running and some teams that are still watching some of these games to see how they pan out, to see who's going to be in the quarterfinals. But we are going to have an exciting night of curling tonight at 8 o'clock with some amazing quarterfinals. Some great teams are going to be playing. So if you have no plans on a Saturday night, it's a good time to order in a pizza, crack open a bottle of Chardonnay, and sit and watch some fabulous curling at stewcurls.com and curlingzone.com. Because I know you'd prefer to watch curling on a Saturday night than the Maple Leafs at Hockey Night in Canada. Curling is going to be way more exciting. So tune in tonight for some great quarterfinal action. It's a pretty clean game here, just hits and clean, keeping it. Okay, so this is a very important game for both teams, coming in with 3-0 records. So this could decide the leader of the pool. So very important game here. It's pretty quick first end here, nice and clean, draws and hits. Nothing too exciting. Yeah, like I said, this game is very important because they're both 3 wins. So this game is definitely going to determine where they're going to move on, rather playing tonight or move directly to tomorrow. So if you're just joining us, we have Team Ha from South Korea against Team Grandy from British Columbia. Both teams have really good resumes. Team Grandy represented BC in the Scotties and some silver medalists for youth curling. And Team Ha has been playing so far I think they were the finals in a couple of big events so far this season. So some really evenly matched teams. And like I said, both 3 wins, so important game for both teams going forward. So the skip, Clancy Grandy, the first shot of the end. Simple, easy hit. And we also have some other important games on. I believe Sheet 4 is Eslin against Champ. I think Eslin needs the win to win their pool. So that's an important game for them. And then on Sheet 8, we have Arsenault against Grattan. And then on Sheet 1, we have Adam Moss against Ladouceur. So this is Skip Seungyoun Ha's first rock. Easy, simple hit, keeping this first end nice and clean. We might be rolling out on this one. So maybe a little bit too much ice. So rolled out. And now we'll see Grandy draw in, force them to hit. Maybe not roll out and force the one, which would be not bad. So open draw here. Sweepers aren't touching it. Might be, no, I think we're good. Might be a little deep. Nope, not bad. Perfect. There you go. Nice draw. And last rock of the first end. Hope to hit and roll out. Keep the hammer, and then number 2. Simple, easy hit. Keep the hammer, blank end and 1 here. With Team Ha against Team Grandy at the Stu Cells 1824 Halifax Classic. Okay, if you're just joining us here, we are in end number 2 at the Stu Cells 1824 Halifax Classic here at the Halifax Curling Club. We have Team Ha against Team Grandy, both with 3 wins, 3-0 records. So this win is important for where they'll be going forward. A quarterfinal game tonight or directly through to the semis, depending how the pools match up. But so important game to get the win. We had a first end, very blank, very clean, draw and hit. So we're here in end number 2. And once again, we'd like to thank our great sponsors, Steel Subaru, and of course Neon Train, and myself, Stu, from the Stu Cells Realty team in Toronto. Love that this event is part of the Stu Cells series. Great club, members, volunteers, awesome, taking good care of everyone, the bartenders. So if you're in the Halifax area tonight and you want to come down, we have the patch sponsored by the Gahan House and the Murphy Hospitality Group. We had a great band last night. It was lots of fun. And another great band for tonight. And we have chowder on the menu, so come down for some good old East Coast chowder, watch some curling, and have a good Saturday night in Halifax. So now we've got some rocks in play. Okay, so Team Grandy pulling up a center guard. She has the one in the house, and Team Ha putting up some corner guards so we can get some rocks in play and some scoring.
Sorry. Funky throw. It's like, I don't know. Good luck.
So the call is to draw right around the corner guard. Start to put some rocks in play. Get some points on the board.
Kind of the same thing on both of my numbers. I think it's just this side. Yeah. Like, I'm not throwing them, like, super great. Like, I think the way I'm throwing them is also helping. Yeah, I think you're letting go earlier than you. Yeah, they're all just, like, a little reachy. Like,
So if you're just joining us, we're in the second end here. Team Ha against Team Grandy. And you'll see on the TV if you're new to the Halifax Curling Club, you'll see that she 1-8 and 2-4. Oh, just wrecked on the guard there. Had great weight. So yeah, you'll see 1-8, 2-4, which is a little bit different than most curling clubs, but that's because 1824 is when the Halifax Curling Club was founded. So next year they're going to have their 200th anniversary. So next year is going to be a lot of fun. So because that one went into the rings, Grandy's going to hit. Oof. So good shot there, hit and roll. They probably hit a little bit thinner than they wanted. But it's a good opportunity here for Team Ha to hit and then roll behind their guard. Maybe catch the other one on the way through.
It looks really close coming out of your hand to me, so it's easy to read. Yeah.
That's what everybody's saying. You see what they're on right now. But you're gonna get that.
These speeds are good. So.
Yeah.
Trying to make this one curl. It's all over the guard. Curl, curl. Ooh. Good shot. Got a piece and got rid of all three. Good shot. It looked like here they were on that guard all day, but just got by. So now Team Grandy's going to draw in behind. Sweepers aren't touching this one. Looks pretty hot, but now it's coming in. Curling well now. Might be a little bit too deep. Yep. So gonna call is to hit the L and roll in behind the guard.
That was the same as my 14 one.
It's a tough shot because to get the roll, you're just gonna have to skinny by that red guard. And their last one just got by. And this one is really curling on them. Can they get it by the guard? Get it by? But not bad. Opens up the center. But yeah, just couldn't get it by the guard there. So hit and roll for Team Grandy. So the organizers of the event sent a questionnaire around to all the teams to fill out with some fun questions. And it's interesting for Team Ha. They were asked who's their female curling idol, and they all picked Alina Pats from Team Tirzoni. But on the male side, it was split. Adine came out twice, Gushu for the skip, and Moed for the lead. So very interesting.
9.5. Yeah.
So I think, tough one. It's tough to tell if it's biting or not because the rings may not be 100% accurate, but from here it looks pretty close. I think Team Grandy was hoping that one was going to roll in behind the guard, but just seemed to float and run a little bit straight. So now Team Hop, nice hit and roll in behind the guard. This seems to be taking off on them pretty quick. Yeah, it's really curling. No. Maybe not enough ice. So if you're just joining us, we're in end number 2. Team Ha against Team Grandy. Must win for each team because they're both 3-0. So not as a must win, but a win would definitely put them into probably right into the semis, depending on the pools. Oh, they're not touching that. Looks, oh, it's coming down now. Just has to curl.
We're just back. No, leave it open. Ah, sorry. Okay, that's good. Good judge, guys. 14-4.
So Team Ha again is going to try and hit and roll behind the guard. They've had a couple attempts at this, but have been rolling out. So maybe just a little bit, not enough ice. But another attempt here to hit and roll behind the red guard. Oh, this one's taking off on them as well. Oof. So here we are in N2 on skipstones. Clancy Grandy's first rock.
I just got 12-9 on there. So.
Ideally, she'd like to hit and roll in behind the guard as well. Oh, there it goes. Starting to curl now.
12-5. Yeah, oh, you still got it. You still got it. Go, go, go.
Hard. Yep.
Oh, great shot. So Team Ha is going to try and set up a deuce here, drawing behind the red guard. Force Team Grandy to make a play on it. Ignoring the one in the back, because if you can draw behind the guard here, you can definitely set up a good deuce. And keep in mind for tonight, 8 o'clock, we're going to be having the quarterfinals of the Stu Cells 1824 Classic. So great night to sit at home, watch some great curling. Or if you're in the Halifax area, by all means, please come down and join us here at the club for our patch night. We have a great band. The patch sponsored by Gahan House and the Murphy Hospitality Group. We had a great band last night. They've got some chowder on. So come have a nice bowl of East Coast chowder, listen to some great music, have some drinks, watch some great curling. So keep that in mind if you're in the Halifax area. We'd love to have you to the club tonight. Trying to make this curl finish a little bit more, but I think it's going to be pretty open. Not a bad shot. We just have to watch for the jam. Just had to curl a touch more to get behind that guard, but still Clancy has to be careful here because she could jam on the back yellow. It is starting to curl off that center line. They better hurry, hurry, hurry. Maybe just not enough ice. It seems to be once it starts to fall off the center line and it curl, it really goes. It's quite a lot of swing, so maybe adjust, maybe some more ice, maybe a little bit more weight. But a pretty open draw here for the deuce.
Yeah, I still got 11-9. Yeah, I think the first one was 11-6. Yeah.
The same.
For my many years of curling, I always find the first couple ends when my skips would always call hits. I would always say, if you're going to call a hit, just tighten up the ice and do normal weight just to get rid of the rock, because you don't want to be in this situation giving up the deuce. But sometimes at the beginnings of the game, the ice is a little bit tricky. Haven't kind of found the curl in it yet, how it's curling. So maybe they just need a little bit more ice or a little bit more weight to make sure they got rid of it. I think we're fine here. Pretty open draw for the deuce. And there we go. Team Ha drawing in for a score of 2 in the second end. So we're 2-0 going into the third end. Team Ha against Team Grandy. A must win. Both are 3 wins in their pool, so a 4th win would make going forward easier. So they're both here for the win and curling well. So it's a great game to watch. So grab a drink, sit back, and we've got some more exciting curling coming your way.
Okay. Yeah. Gotta throw them in there.
Is it like this one so you get to? Or
Okay, so if you're just joining us here at the Stu Cells 1824 Halifax Classic, here at the Halifax Curling Club, we are in end number 3, Team Ha against Team Grandy. We got some other exciting games. Sheet 4 is Team Asselin against Team Champ. I think Asselin, if he wins, I think he wins his pool in this one. Then we have Arsenault against Grattan on sheet 8. And on 1, we have Adams Moss against Ladouceur. So a lot of great curling. If you're in the Halifax area, come on down. And lots of seats here to watch some great curling. The kitchen's made some wonderful East Coast chowder. So you can have a nice bowl of chowder, have a glass of wine, watch some awesome curling here at the Halifax Curling Club. Or you can sit at home and watch us online at stewcurls.com and curlingzone.com. And this is the last game of the pool play, and then we're going to the quarterfinals tonight at 8 o'clock. So we're going to have some great games tonight. So don't watch the Leafs at Hockey Night Canada when you can watch some great curling here online. Not that I'm not a Leafs fan, but curling is way more exciting. So big shout out to all our sponsors, Steel Subaru and Neon Train, and myself, Stu Sankey from Toronto, the Stu Cells Realty team. So excited to have Halifax as part of the Stu Cells series. And after this, our next event is we have Port Elgin, Collingwood, and Brantford coming up. So lots of great curling to come in the month of November. We also have some great partner sponsors. As I mentioned before, we have the patch here tonight with a great band sponsored by the Kahana House and the Murphy Hospitality Group. We have other great sponsors, Prince Edward Island Brewing Company, Crombie, REIT, Scotia Square, and the Curling Store. Curling doesn't survive without great sponsors, and sponsors make these events happen. So if you're needing any of these services or these companies, please use them because that helps our sport. Because if we reward our sponsors will keep donating to curling and keep the sport alive. So when you're out and about, grab a Prince Edward Island beer, go to the Kahan House, have a meal, sell your house through Stu, and buy a Subaru. There you go, everything. Car, house, beer, and food, all covered. Okay, so we're in the third end. We had a blank the first end, the second end, a really well played deuce by Team Ha. And now Grandy with the hammer in the third end is trying to get some rocks in behind the guards there to set up a scoring scenario here. So if you're just joining us, we're here with Team Ha against Team Grandy. Both have great curling resumes. Team Grandy, Scotties BC Champs 2023. Also winners of the 2023 Tour Challenge Tier 2. And funny enough, Team Ha was also a winner of a previous Grand Slam Tier 2. So Team Grandy trying to get some rocks behind the guard to set up some scoring. Pretty good shot. Just need to finish a little bit more. I don't know why they weren't sweeping it to get a little bit more of a curl to get behind the guards. There's still a little piece sticking out. Team Ha from South Korea have lots of championships under their belts at 2. Yep, they were the bronze medal winners in the World Championship 2019. Silver medalists at the Pan-Continental Championships. Lots of junior wins and stuff. So we have some great teams here currently against each other. So it's going to be a great game. We're off to a good start. End number 1 was clean. Then the deuce and 2. Now trying to, I believe, run the guard and catch the back yellow. Nice shot. Ooh. A teaser. Which one is closer? Clancy Grandy's having a look. Yeah. So good call. She's going to freeze down to it. Put some more rocks in play to set up a good scoring end. I think she doesn't mind a little tap. You don't want to tap it too far because the more room, the easier it's going to be for Team Ha to get rid of it. But maybe a little tap will make sure it is not equal to the other, her Yellowstone on the other side. Got to curl a ton. There it goes. Great shot. Oh, just had to curl a little bit more. But it's okay. Now definitely the other yellow on the other side is now. So now yellow is 1-2. I'm pretty sure she tapped the red enough. So we're going to try the long hit and roll. Tough shot for the double. But this is the exciting thing of curling, because you get to see these great shots. Once they make them a long double, you go, ooh, that was awesome. So this is why we love the sport, because we can get these cool shots called. So the hit and long roll, let's see if it can happen. Yeah, it's looking good, looking good, looking good. Just, I think I'd hit it a little bit thicker. But exciting to watch. Could have been a great long double. Would have been everyone going, ooh, ah. So now Team Grandy's going to put the rock back, freezing it to the red. Hoping that if Ha tries to hit it, there's a jamming possibility. So if you're just joining us, we're in end number 3. Grandy has the hammer after giving up a deuce in end number 2. Both teams want to win this game because they're both 3-0 in their pool. So 4-0 would make them top of the pool and would make it easier going forward, maybe not having to play in the quarters. But yes, we're going to have some exciting curling tonight at 8 o'clock, the quarterfinals. So, just curled. Yeah, just the weight was great. Maybe not enough ice. It just seemed to over curl. But the good news is the house is wide open for a draw, but I know Clancy would love to score a deuce or more if we can get these rocks into play. Okay, pretty open hit here. Starting to curl on them. The sweepers are trying to hold it straight because you don't want to run it back onto the back red. Ooh. Over curled on them, left the yellow in play. So Clancy's looking, can we get enough of the yellow to get the red out? And now put 3 in the house. From here, it looks, it's sticking out, but man, that's a tough shot. But once again, this is the exciting thing about the sport of curling, because these great shots come up and people have to make them, and they're fun to watch because she just has to skinny by that red guard to get enough of the yellow to knock the red back out and keep her shooter in play. So I think the call was backline hack weight. So yeah, this is a key shot because you could set up a good scoring end here. Vice just asked for a little bit of an ice adjustment. Thought it was a little bit too much. Might miss it. So when you always call down to your skip and change the ice, you better make the shot. But it is a tough shot because it literally you just have to squeak by that guard to get a piece of it. The sweepers are on it. They might think it's a little down weight, but they got to get it by that guard. Have to get it by the guard. Get it by the guard. Oh, beautiful shot. Oh, just didn't get the red out enough. That was a great try. I don't know. I think maybe needed less ice, more weight to get the red out. Because now the red's like buried in you. It'd be tough to get that red out because it's so buried behind those 2 yellows. Anyways, good attempt. It was a tough shot. So I think Team Ha is just going to hit this one, and then they will be sitting 1-2. There's not even a long double because you can't even, from here you can't even see that red. It's buried behind the yellows. So Team Ha's having a discussion. I think they really want to force 1 for Team Grandy. So they're thinking of splitting the house, putting red in front of the yellow, because they just feel hitting the back yellow. The yellow's really not in play because that red one is so far buried, it's going to be tough to get rid of. So I think they're trying to split the house and force the 1. I don't know, when you look down at the house, it kind of looks like there's enough room. If you did a heavy draw, could you tap that red back out enough? But when you look at it from here, you can't even see a sliver of it from here at the table, looking down the ice. So I don't know. It could be there. A heavy draw, maybe. Can you tap it enough to get the top two yellows in play? But trying to make this one curl. And rolling out, they wanted to really say. So Team Grandy is going to try and draw down close to the red so that they can maybe use it on their last rock to hit the red out for a multiple score. Very good call. Okay, the sweepers are really working hard on this. I heard top 8. They gotta get it close as they can to that red one. Gotta sweep it. Keep going. Go, 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 go. Ah. Whew. Just not enough weight. I don't even think you can use it. I think it's too tight to that other yellow. You can't even run it back onto the back red. So I think they're going to be forced to a 1 here. I think Team Ha is just going to draw an open one. Yeah, it's definitely 1 red for sure. So just going to draw to the other side, force a hit or a draw, and force Team Grandy to the 1. Just a couple of little misses here and there. Grandy was looking really good to set up a multiple score, but just can't get those yellow rocks in play. And now Team Ha is going to draw and basically force the 1. So last rock for the skip. Seungyoun Ha is going to draw to the other side of the house and force Clancy Grandy to draw for 1, hit for 1. Because we just can't get those other rocks in play with the other red one over there. Or you don't want to set up a double, but no, I think deep enough. Yeah, no. Yeah, hit and stick for the 1. It was good. It was a good end. Lots of opportunities for Team Grandy to score a bunch, but just a few couple of misses here and there. And so now the open hit for the 1. So here we are, last rock at end number 3. Team Grandy with the open hit for 1. Just keeping it clean, making sure. Nice shot for the 1. So here we are at the end of end number 3. Team Ha leads 2-1 against Team Grandy. Both would like the win because they would be both are 3-0, and 4-0 is a great way to end the tournament. So both looking for the win, and grab a drink and come back for end number 4 here at the Stu Cells 1824 Halifax Classic. Okay, if you're just joining us, welcome back to the Stu Cells 1824 Halifax Classic here at the Halifax Curling Club. We are showing you a great game, very close. Both teams would love to win. Both are 3-0 in their pool, and a 4-0 would be awesome. So both need to win or would like to win. Here, so we're in the 4th end. We have a close game, 2-1. Team Ha has the hammer here in the 4th end. So it's an exciting game. Some great curling so far. Big shout out to all our wonderful, wonderful sponsors. Steel Subaru, Neon Train, and we have some partner sponsors this year. Gahan House and the Murphy Hospitality Group, which is sponsoring the patch here at the Halifax Curling Club, which had a great band last night and is going to have another awesome band tonight. So if you're in the Halifax area and you want to come down and watch the quarterfinals and do a jig to some music and have some great, tasty, delicious seafood chowder, we have it all here at the Halifax Curling Club. So no need to stay at home. Come on down and join us. So other great sponsors, Prince Edward Island Brewery Company, Crombie REIT, Scotia Square, and the Curling Store. Along with myself, Stu Sankey, the Stu Cells Real Estate Team, that sponsors this event and love having the Halifax event, part of the Stu Cells series. So I'm always a big proponent that curling will only survive with our great sponsors, helping these young teams out, helping these teams compete, helping out events. So please, 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 when you go into the marketplace and you need something, always think of your curling sponsors and try and reward them, because the more we reward them, the more they're going to help curling, and it's a win-win for everyone. So please, please help your sponsors out. And if you're a business and looking to sponsor, you can just give me, Stu, a call, send me an email. I can introduce you to a ton of young teams that would love to have some company money and sponsorship. It's a great sport. Curling fans love to reward sponsors, so you can get your logo on jerseys, get on TV, and it's a great way to promote your business and help young athletes go to the Olympics. So it's another win-win for everyone. Okay, so Team Grandy tried to freeze to the team Haas Rock in the house, but they nudged off a bit, so a hit and roll called. hit made. I think they wanted to roll a little deeper, so I think gives Grandy an opportunity to hit and roll in front of the top red. And also big shout out to the Halifax Curling Club. Their hospitality is amazing. They've been great to myself and all the fans that have come to watch. The bartenders are awesome. Adam and his ice crew made some amazing ice. I've talked to a lot of the good teams, and they've all said the ice has been awesome. So a big shout out to them. And of course, Teresa Breen for organizing it all, and her committee for putting on an amazing event. Trying to get a little bit of a roll, trying to make it curl, but maybe just need to tighten the broom or maybe adjust the weight. Both of these teams have great resumes, both being Tier 2 winners of the Grand Slams. I think the call is a hit and roll in on top, trying to make it curl. I don't know if you really want to do a hit and roll here. Maybe go for the, maybe try for the double, but I guess the hit and roll is fine too. But I think you've got the angle. You could get both.
We can try that.
So I'm thinking the double too, but. So we always talk in curling about objectives when we start and end. So obviously you like to score in the even ends, 2, 4, 6, 8. So the objective here is for Team Hod to either score 2 or keep the hammer, and Grandy to maybe give up 1 or steal 1. So I think she's opted to come down and freeze on the top red and maybe try and force 1, get the hammer back. Weight looks good. Here it starts to curl now. It's coming down.
You gotta go. You gotta go, line. You're losing line. Yep.
Great shot. One of the toughest shots is the freeze in curling. To be that precise to get it to freeze exactly on the rock is a hard shot. That was a great. I think they just wanted to be a little bit more on the red because I think this could an easy tap it back. So if you're just joining us here, it's an important win for both these teams. Both have records of 3-0. Would love to be 4-0. Would make it easier going forward. Maybe a direct, depending on all the pools, maybe direct into the semis. But if you're not doing anything tonight, Saturday night, 8 o'clock, you're going to tune in to stewcurls.com or curlingzone.com and watch some great quarterfinal play here at the Stu Sells 1824 Classic. So we have that lonely yellow with all that red. Must get another yellow one in there, but the angles are so important. I don't think she can draw in.
So either.
I'm thinking, yeah, I'm kind of with Clancy, a hit and roll, get rid of some red, or maybe hit and roll on the other side, lose the back red, and leave the yellow in front. So the call, hit and roll over onto the center line. Get rid of this rock. Hopefully it doesn't click the yellow on the way by, because that would not be good. But just a nice hit and roll in front of the yellow would be awesome. Not a lot of ice, so she must be throwing some good weight at this, because they do
11,
tend to finish.
11, 5.
It looks like she turned it out a bit, but now it's coming in.
No roll.
Great shot. Nicely lined up. So this is a good call, because she's trying to run the yellow into the back, the other yellows. But the other good thing about this is that if you miss it on either side and you clear the center guard, that's great for Team Ha, because then nothing's in their way. They can get at the rock. So this is a great call, because your plan A's and your plan B's are both beneficial. Not bad.
They're just one right now.
Yeah, so Grandy's going to put up another center guard. She's in good position here.
Yeah.
Right now, Ha is going to be in a tough situation to get rid of the yellows without losing their red. So I think the guard is the best call. Let them waste a rock clearing the guard off. I don't think you need to come into the rocks of the house yet.
We want to just touch the line, I think, right here.
Any hit on the yellow that's parallel with the red will definitely shoot out. A hit on the top, you could lose them all if you wanted to blank. So the center guard's a great call. Forces them to clear it.
Halfway. Okay, tight. Two.
Line's good. Easy.
More line is more important here. Got across the center. Right on our lovely logo of New Scotland. Scott Zachary, who plays in this event. His brewery company in New Scotland. I don't know if the run, I think you lose both the red and the yellow. So I don't know when that gets them, because if you leave the red right at the center line, then it's all guarded. You might be able to get all three yellows and miss the red. There is enough separation in between them, but risky call here in the fourth end. But that's what we love about curling, these crazy shot calls, these fun shots when they're made, and when, woo, that was cool. And then you get on the top 50 shots of TSN. So it's kind of exciting. So that's why we love the sport of curling, because of all the different angles and the shots that you can make. So this is a key one. Okay, so we should see some good weight coming at this one. They seem to be on it. I think he needs to curl more, but let's see. We get. Oh no, she's got the straight peel.
Gotta get it a hair high. With like a 10. Yeah, I think we play it with a 10.
So we're here at Skipstones. Clancy Grandy without the hammer. This is her first rock. I think she's going to try and jiggle and leave a mess for Team Ha to deal with. As I mentioned before, they all have objectives when they start and end, and it would be great for Team Grandy to steal one or force one and get the hammer back. And obviously Team Ha would like to score 2. I don't see how that could happen now, but so this just coming down and trying to move some rocks around, maybe punch the red one back. Trying to make it curl so we catch the red. There we go. Nice shot.
Okay.
So definitely the force is on. I think they're looking at hitting and rolling over, maybe pushing the yellow out and stick behind the red guard. Ooh, tough shot, but exciting if made. I just don't know if you can get guarded to get both. I think he would be wide open, but maybe they see a different angle. They're pretty flat. They're pretty side by side. So we also have some other great games here on sheet 4. We have Team Aslan from Quebec against Team Champ from Ontario. I think Aslan needs the win to be top of their pool. We have Team Arsenault against Team Grattan on sheet 8. And on 1, we have Adams Moss against Ladouceur. Ladouceur's in the lead 3-1. Ooh, she went under the rock. Need to hit it a lot thicker. So ideally you'd like to be top 8, top 12, that if Team Ha hit and stuck, they would not be shot rock. So force to try to hit and roll enough on so you're shot rock or force the draw. But a rock on the center line in top 12, top 8 would make it very difficult to draw behind.
I think we play it this way. We just take
Team Arsenault and Grattan. Grattan is leading 4-3 on sheet 8. And on sheet 4, Team Aslan is 4-1 against Team Champ. And if you think I'm crazy, some people do think I'm crazy, but I'm not really that crazy. But when I say sheet 8, it's because the sheets are 1-8-2-4, because that was the year the Halifax Curling Club was founded. 1824, so the sheets are named after the numbers. So I'm not crazy. It is sheet 1, sheet 8, and we're on sheet 2 and sheet 4 instead of 1, 2, 3, 4. I've only had 1 glass of Chardonnay, so I can still count. It's 1, 8, 2, 4. Okay, maybe I've had 2. Because Josh, the former High Park member and ice maker now living here in Halifax, bought me a nice, generous glass of wine to help me do the commentating. She's way out there. That really has to curl back. wanted to come over a little bit more on the center line. So the draw is there for the 1, but still it's tough. You never want to draw against 3. It's not fun because a lot of things go through your mind. But great end play by Team Grandy, forcing the 1. The hit's not there because it would not be shot. So the draw is the only call.
Yeah, good throw.
So great end. Well played.
Like a hair tight, but it curled back. Yeah.
So last rock here, and end number 4, Team Ha with a hammer has to draw to full 8 for the 1 point to take a 3-1 lead. So here we go, last rock in the 4th end. Open draw for 1. Line looks good. It's now all weight. There we go. Perfect draw right to the 4-foot. Great draw for the 1 point. So Team Ha scores 1 in the 4th. So we have a very exciting close game here. 3-1 going into the 5th end. Grandy will have the hammer here at the Stu Cells 1824 Halifax Classic. Okay, so if you're just joining us here at the Stu Cells 1824 Halifax Classic, we have a great game here on sheet number 2. We're in the 5th end. It's a score of 3-1 for Team Ha against Team Grandy. Both have 3-0 records in this pool, so both looking for the win to have a perfect score of 4-0. So a very exciting game. If you're in the Halifax area and want to come down and watch some great curling, this is our last pool play, and then at 8 o'clock tonight we have the quarterfinals, some amazing curling tonight. So if you're in the area, Gahan House and the Murphy Hospitality Group is doing the patch with a wonderful band. The kitchen has made some delicious seafood chowder. The bartenders are here to serve you some wine and beer, maybe from our Prince Edward Island Brewery Company, one of our sponsors. Have a pint, have some chowder, watch some great curling. If you're not in the Halifax area and you're stuck at home, stewcurls.com, curlingzone.com. You can watch some amazing streaming of curling. And big shout out to our sponsors, Steel Subaru and Neon Train, and some of our partners, Scotia Square, the Curling Zone, and Crombie REIT. And myself, Stu, from the Stu Sales Realty team. As you know, curling only will survive if we have sponsors that sponsor teams and events. So please, 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 when you go out into the marketplace, reward curling sponsors and use their businesses or services, because the more we sponsor our sponsors, they're going to sponsor curling and help the sport grow. So keep that in mind when you're in the marketplace. So Team Grandy would love to get their deuce here. Put up the corner guard, going to draw behind it. Team Ha has gone into the house twice, but they're going to ignore them because they would love a deuce and a multiple score here to tie up the game. So going behind the guard.
A little tighter line. Close.
So great draw behind. Perfect rock. It's stuck out the other side. You could get a piece of it. I think she's thinking about tapping it or drawing on it. No way.
Right there.
I think she's trying to think that the guard is high enough you could draw in behind and sit on top of it, or you could come this way. So hack weight. Trying, I guess, to tap it out. Doesn't seem like a lot of ice for a hack weight, but, and she's going very far out there, so tough shot. Clancy's right behind because I don't think we've been out this far yet, so wants to see how the rock curls. Now trying to make it curl. Good shot. So I'm going to try again, draw behind, and not to stick out the other side would be ideal.
Top 4. Okay. Okay, top 8. Top 8. Just. Wanna go? Okay, well, we wanna go.
Okay, got to get it in there behind the guard. Curl, curl. Oh, great shot. So the call to run the guard, maybe try and clip the yellow on the way by. Good shot, cleared the guard. So the call to put the guard back up. Clancy would love to score a deuce here. So for all of you out there who don't know, I used to live in Halifax and manage restaurants here. I love the city. It has some great restaurants. Last night we took Team Smith and Team Moeybrook out to La Fresca for dinner. Had a wonderful meal. The food was delicious. The wine was flowing. The cocktails were yummy. So we had a good time catching up with them. I think Team Moeybrook is into the semifinals. I think they're 4-0. My friend Greg, I think, is not curling anymore. I think they're 1-3. So he should be upstairs watching curling and having a drink and having some chowder. But we had a great night. We also went for lunch today to the Blue Nose 2 Tavern and had a lobster roll, which was delicious. I had lobster eggs Benny, which were yummy, and caught up with some friends, my friends from St. Avex. So it was good to catch up while I'm here. And now I'm commentating. A fun day. Fun day in Halifax. Lobster, wine, curling. What more do you need? So a couple more shots with the guard. Love to score the deuce, so we'll put up another guard. Eventually we'll make a play on the house, but I think this is a great call. Because, you know, in curling, we have some hits and we have some misses, so you're hoping that maybe they hit the guard too thick and they leave a guard. Then you can come into the house. But this is a good call, putting the guard back up. So I don't know if you can see the other sheets, but on sheet 1 we have Adams Moss against Ladouceur. Tight game there, 3-2 in the 6. Then on sheet 8 we have Grattan against Arsenault. Grattan's got a 5-3 lead. And then on sheet 4, Asselin against Champ. Asselin is up 4-1. I think Asselin needs the win to be top of their pool. So it's not a must-win for them, but I think they would love to be the top of the pool. Who doesn't want to be top of the pool 4-0? Like, honestly, I think you go right into semis. And yes, I've only had 2 glasses of wine. It is 1824, the sheets, because that's when the Halifax Curling Club was founded in 1824. So they've named the sheets 1, 8, 2, and 4 instead of 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's not me, it's the club. It's 1824. And exciting, next year going to be celebrating their 200th anniversary. So this 2 Cells Halifax next year is going to be a lot of fun. So mark it in your calendar. If you've ever not been to the Maritimes, Nova Scotia, Halifax, it is a wonderful province. One of my favorites in the country. The people are friendly. The hospitality is amazing. The food is delicious. The scenery, the ocean. It's a beautiful province to come and explore. So Team Ha is going to change and maybe put up the center guard. It is sticking out a bit. You could probably get a piece of it, but I wonder if it would jam on the red one. I don't know if she'd get enough of it, but I like the center guard. The center guard's going to force Clancy to clear it, use a rock up. So really exciting game here. We're in end number 5, Team Ha against Team Grandy. An important win for each team. Both are 3-0 in their pool. So they would love to be 4-0. So a very important game. Good shot. Nice center guard. Clancy's looking at the double and maybe a roll. The vice is going to go down. This is a very key shot here. Clancy set up very well to score multiple points. So want to make sure this is the right call. If you can get both and roll without giving them a double, you'd have to roll in behind. I think they're too even. You don't want to roll open where you can get both yellows. And then, yeah, you don't want to hit that yellow too much, so it's outscored by the red on the edge of the rings. So very important shot here, so that's why the vice is down there, making sure they score in this end. That's the fun thing about the sport of curling. It's always, you have to always plan ahead of what shot you make, and then what do they make, and what does it leave you, and where does it lead you to the final outcome. So you always have to think about what the other team's going to do, what's going to be their shot. Some people might think she should hit the center guard, but this is the last vice stones, and then we're into skip rocks. Maybe it's a good time to play on the rocks in the house now. Because if you could get rid of both and you could roll over, you just don't want to leave a double on the yellows. So I think that's the worry that they're looking at. They've got to roll enough so it's not there for Team Ha to hit both yellows out. Because right now that yellow is your second shot, so you want to keep that. So key shot of the game here in the fifth end, our last vice rocks.
Okay. Yeah, it's like just behind ours. Go down.
Yeah, so they'd like to hit this and roll in behind their yellow and have two yellows behind the guard and really set up a nice good scoring end.
Yeah, I thought it came down a little bit. I thought it was close to 11 out of your hand.
Good communication. They're talking about their weight of their hits.
Little big. 11-5.
So they're saying it's a little up weight. Oh man, it's got a curl. There it goes. Just wanna. That's not bad. Yeah, great shot. This is going to be a tough shot to hit. From here, you can see very little. But down there, it looks a little bit better on screen. But still, a tough shot to hit and roll. You basically just have to sneak by that yellow guard or you're going to be rolling out, I would think. So the weight is going to be really key here not to roll out. So an exciting game here. Team Ha against Team Grandy. Both 3-0 in their pools. Both would love to be 4-0. So very important game. We've seen some great curling. So first skip zones for Team Ha. Yeah, I didn't think you could. Gotta go, gotta go, gotta go, gotta go. There we go. Okay. Ooh, no, I think we're good. I think, yeah. Grandy's still second, I believe. Ooh, that's a tough one. Yowza. That's definitely going to be a measure for sure. But I think you have to. So the call to hit this and roll in behind the guard. That's a tough call on those two, but I think it looks. I don't know. You can see more. Wow, that's a close one. Those two. I'm thinking it's yellow. From looking at the far angle, it looks like yellow's more in. But looking overhead, it looks more like red's in. But it's, they're not going to worry about that. They're going to hit this. Oh, they're maybe changing the mind.
Like wide open. I think so.
Like same spot, or like just a piece
Yeah,
on this
if
side,
it's not quite
and
getting
face
there,
it,
just try to roll it.
then we'll have like the same thought.
Yeah, I think if you roll and
I think the call is to hit and roll open and force Ha to hit.
Yeah, I think I can throw it past the guard.
I don't know. It's a weird call.
12.5. Try to get to nose.
Okay, kind of wait.
Yeah, 12.5. That's what I'm going to throw. Yeah.
Okay, first skip rocks for Clancy.
Weight's close. Weight's good. Yeah, hard. Hard, keep it off center.
She's I think she's on the guard. Is she by? Oh, big sweep. Oh. Oof.
Good sweep.
It's a tough call. It's definitely going to be measured because, as I mentioned before, the rings are not always accurate. So they could be off a bit. Definitely think it's a measure for sure. So very exciting game here. Last skip rock for Team Ha. Ideally, I think they would like to hit and roll in behind the yellow guard and be shot. But Clancy just got by that red. Oof, it was close. And they're taking not that much ice for, I don't know, Clancy just got by the guard. Okay, last shot for Team Ha. They would love to hit and roll in behind. Force Grandy to draw for one. Sweepers are on her, right out of her hand, but I think she's fine. She looks... She wants the roll. Oh, hard. So I think you'll see the hit. I think for sure they'll hit that back red just to be safe. Yeah, no, yeah. Honestly, I think it's a 50-50. I don't know, different angles. You look at it from the far, it looks yellow, but you look overhead, it looks red. I'd definitely be hitting that rock to make sure. You don't want to draw in and only get one. You want your deuce here. You want to tie it up. Great exciting end here in the 5th. Grandy's last rock. Clancy has an open hit and stick for the deuce.
I'm going to go with 10. Yeah. We haven't really played out here. I think it's going to run fairly straight. Yeah. Pretty straight, yeah.
So good conversations. They're talking that they think it's going to run straight out here. Give me some good information, the front end to the skip. Has to be a nose hit. Can't roll.
Yeah.
I think they're fine. Yeah, great shot. 2. Good call, good shot, great end. Here at the Stu Cells 1824 Halifax Classic, we have a tied game, 3-3 going into the 6th end. Both teams 3-0 in their pool. Would love to be 4-0, so this win is very important. So grab another glass of wine or a beer, sit on the couch, get ready, because this game is going to be exciting to the very end. Okay, everyone, welcome back to the Stu Cells 1824 Halifax Classic. You can hear the band upstairs is pounding and jigging. We're having so much fun here at the Halifax Curling Club. We are in the last draw of the pool play, and quarterfinals are 8 o'clock tonight. So you can tune in to StuCurls.com, curlingzone.com. Watch the quarterfinals tonight. No hockey night in Canada. Boring when you've got curling on. Grab a pizza, beer, glass of wine, sit and watch some great curling. So we're here in the 6th end, Team Ha against Team Grandy. Both would like the win here. Both are 3-0 in their pool, and they would love the win. We also have some great games. Adam Moss against Ladisseur, 5-2 over there on sheet 1. Sheet 8, we have Grattan against Arsenault, 5-3 for Grattan. And Asselin, I believe, needs the win to be 4-0 in their pool, playing Champ. And I think they're 4-2, but they just scored something. We'll see what's going to happen in the 6th end. But here we are, Team Ha against Team Grandy, tied at 3-3 here at the Halifax Curling Club. If you're in the Halifax area, what are you doing and not coming down to the curling club? We've got the patch sponsored by the Gahan House and the Murphy Hospitality Group. We've got bands. We have seafood chowder. We have beer from the Prince Edward Island Brewery Company, one of the sponsors. We have wine. We have fun. We have dancing. You should be here if you're in Halifax. If you're not in Halifax, you can watch us online. But a big shout out to our sponsors who sponsored the event. Steel Subaru, Neon Train, and Scotia Square, the curling store, Crombie REIT. So thank you so much to our sponsors who make this event great each year. And we are here at the Halifax Curling Club, which next year is going to be celebrating 200 years anniversary. So next 2 cells is going to be a lot of fun because it'll be a milestone. So we have so much going on here. You should be down here if you're in the Halifax area. The bartenders are great. The food is delicious. The bands are awesome. We're having a good time here. So come down and join us. So we're getting close. We're in the 6th end now. So obviously I've mentioned it before about each team has their plans for each end. So Team Ha would love to score a deuce here. Team Grandy would like to force one and get the hammer back or steal one. So we have the center guard up and then into the house. So it's shaping up to be a good end. We're going to have rocks in play, which we love with curling. Both of these teams have been Tier 2 winners of the Grand Slams, and Grandy represented BC for the Scotties, and Team Ha has won Korean championships, been in some world championships and pan-continental championships. So both teams have great resumes, and it's been an exciting game, close game so far. Both teams have played really, really well. So we're excited to have some great curling for you online. So Grandy's calling for a cool shot. There's like a little tap back. Put another yellow one in front. Maybe tap the red back a bit. Change a little bit of the angle so Ha will have a hard hit. Oh, it looks a little hot, this one, but they do, once they start to curl, they do tend to slow down.
Curl. Hard, Kayla. Hard.
Nice shot.
Okay. Yeah. 15-3.
Pardon?
15-3.
Okay, yeah.
So Team Ha is thinking they can run the center guard back onto the back yellows. They might lose their back red, but they don't care because they can set up for a deuce. And, you know, the straight peel is fine, too. If they just clear the center guard, that is also fine. So that's fine. Clear the center guard. Grandy will put it back.
On the logo.
So an also big shout out to Teresa Breen and the committee and all the volunteers here at the Halifax Curling Club. It's been an awesome weekend so far. Great curling. They've been amazing, so hospitable to everyone here, the fans, and the ice crew. Adam and his ice team have made some amazing ice. I've talked to the curlers. They all love the ice, so, ooh, this one really has to curl. We got to get it over to center line.
Hard. Okay.
Needed to come over a bit more, but I think it's still in the way enough. So I think Team Ha is just going to clear the center guard. It's over enough to be in the way. So good call to get rid of it. Keep the front open. Good shot. Clear the guard. Keep it open. So because we're getting into this the 6N, we're getting close to the end of the game. Each shot is very important. So now we have the vice and the skip talking and planning out how they're going to accomplish their goal of stealing one or giving up one and not giving up a bunch.
Yeah.
I think the call is to hit and stick. Lose the back red. Maybe if you can hit and roll over onto the center line, but I think it would give you an easy triple to Team Ha. But let's see what happens with this shot. Okay, not bad, but I think it's an easy double. But then it'd be an easy double for Team Grandy to get rid of the 2 reds. So, you know, Team Ha would also like to blank and keep the hammer. That's totally fine in the 6N. Because right now with no guards, it's going to be hard to score a deuce. So I think the calls hit, get rid of both yellows and roll and get some separation between the 2 reds. So an easy double is not there for Team Grandy. And they hope for hit and roll out and can maybe then split the house and get their deuce that way. Ooh, biter. The thing of curling, biting rocks always come back to bite you at the end because now you have to deal with them. So hard to blank with that one biting in the back. So now the double call. Oh, so we have our first sheet 8. I think Team Grattan is victorious over Team Arsenault. They're not going to play 8. I don't know what they scored in the 7th, but after the 6, it was 7-3. Nice double. Beautiful shot. Here on sheet 2, Team Ha against Team Grandy. We're in the 6N. Beautiful double. So it's going to be difficult here for Team Ha to blank this in because we have that biter in the back. The yellow, unless she can catch it on this one. So Team Grandy's in a good place to force. So I think they were trying to roll it more in front of the back yellow so they hope that when Team Grandy hits it, it jams. I think Team Grandy is just going to be easy hit and roll, hit or stick or hit and roll out and avoid that back yellow because that yellow is benefiting them to force Team Ha into scoring in this end. So they would like to keep that rock there. Okay, so first skip rock for Clancy Grandy, Team Grandy from BC.
10.
Would like a hit and stick.
Little more than last end.
Can't roll out, must stay. Nice shot, beautiful. So Grandy would love to force the one, get back the hammer, score her deuce in 7 and be 1 up. Without is not bad. Ha would rather like to blank and keep the hammer. I don't think they can get both.
Yeah.
So Team Ha is thinking about drawing in and forcing Grandy to try and make a play on it, which is a good call because if you miss it, you could give up, you could score the deuce. So this would definitely put the pressure on to Team Grandy. It's an aggressive call, but a good call. The problem with this is if you don't draw right behind the guard and leave it open, it's an easy hit. And then you're drawing against 2, but it's a gutsy call, but good. So Skip Ha's first rock, trying to draw behind the yellow. Nice draw. Beautiful shot. Nice draw in.
Pardon?
We just play it with heel.
Now the thing here, you run the yellow right back, nose to nose. You leave a yellow guard and a yellow behind.
That's cool too.
It's going to force Team Ha to draw for their 1. So it was a gutsy call, but it was a good call because it's forcing this. And if you ever miss this, it's an easy draw for 2. So curling is a fun sport because sometimes you have to take chances. And we're in the 6th end. You got to take chances because this win, both are 3-0 in this pool. And each team would love to be 4-0.
Yep. Whoa. Yep. Hard. Yep. Keep it there. Keep it there.
Nice shot. Very good shot. Going to force Team Ha to draw for the 1. Good force. And once again, you're drawing against 3. 2 for sure, maybe 3. So not a favorite skip stone when you're drawing against a bunch because a lot of things go through your head. You go like, ah, but these teams are very professional, do this all the time. So this is a wide open draw. Well played end by Team Grandy to force the 1. And they can take hammer in the 7th, score their deuce. And And nice draw in. Right to the 4-foot button for their one. Good force by Team Grandy. Here we are going into 7th and Team Ha up 4-3 against Team Grandy. Team Grandy has a hammer in the 7th end here at the Stu Cells 1824 Halifax Classic. Grab a glass of wine, grab a beer because the game's exciting. It's going to go the distance. So stay tuned for some more great curling here on StuCurls.com, curlingzone.com. Okay, welcome back to the Stu Cells 1824 Halifax Classic. We have a very exciting game for you here, a very important game. Team Ha from South Korea against Team Grandy from British Columbia, both with 3-0 records. Each team wants to be a 4-0, so it's a very close, well-fought game. We are 4-3 for Team Ha in the 7th end, but Grandy does have the hammer. So Grandy's going to be looking for a deuce or a blank and keep the hammer in 8. But definitely would like her deuce. Team Ha would like to force Grandy to 1 and get the hammer back in 8 and be tied going home. So this is a really crucial end. So you're in for some great curling here online at StuCurls.com, curlingzone.com. And if you are in the Halifax area, what are you doing sitting at home and not down here at the club? Because we have the patch put on by Gahan House and the Murphy Hospitality Group, one of our partner sponsors. We've got a great band. We have seafood chowder, delicious seafood chowder put on by the kitchen here at the Halifax Curling Club. We have beer, we have wine, we have mixed drinks. We have a whole shooter menu, and we tried one yesterday. Tequila, what was it, Fireball and Sourpuss. Like, who made that up? I don't know, but some people liked it. Anyways, so we have everything here at the Halifax Curling Club, so don't sit at home. If you're in the area, come down and have some fun. But if you're not in the Halifax area and you're stuck at home, don't go to Hockey Night in Canada and watch the Leafs when you can watch the quarterfinals here at 8 o'clock. We're going to have some great quarterfinals. The do or die, win or out. So it's going to be a great night of curling here at the Halifax Curling Club. So a big shout out to our sponsors, Steel Subaru and Neon Train. And we have to thank our partner sponsors, Prince Edward Island Brewery Company, which you can come down here and have a beer. Crombie REIT, Scotia Square, and the Curling Store. And myself, Stu, of the Stu Cells Realty team. The Halifax event is part of my Stu Cells series, and I'm so excited to have them part of the series. And you all know I'm a big proponent of sponsors for curling. So if you're going out of the marketplace, please do use our sponsors, because the more curling fans use our sponsors, the more sponsors are going to give money to the sport of curling, and then the sport of curling is going to survive. So keep that in mind. When you need a new car, buy a Subaru. When you want to buy a house, give me Stu a call. And when you want to drink some beer, drink some Prince Edward Island Brewery Company. As easy as that. Easy peasy. So we are in the 7th end here. We're off to a good start. Corner guards up. Team Grandy drew behind the corner guard to try and score their deuce. Team Ha is clogging up the center with some center guards and some one of the house. So we're off to a great start. Thanks for all the feedback in the chat. I love to do commentary for these events. I love curling. I love the sport. I love these events. So keep tuning in. Keep watching. We have more great curling coming your way. So weird. Okay, just clearing the car. That's good. Little broom slam. I think she wanted the run, and now she's opened up the rock, but Team House going to ignore it and put a corner guard up. I think Team Grandy wanted to get all three, but they're still in good shape. So I think we have some. I think Team Ladisseur won on sheet 1 against Team Adams Moss, and I think Team Aslan beat Team Champ on sheet 4, and Grattan did beat Team Arsenal on sheet 8. So this is the last game of the pool play before we move into the exciting quarterfinals. So be ready to watch some great curling at 8 o'clock tonight. We're going to have some amazing games. Once these games finish, they'll calculate the pools, they'll calculate the draw to the buttons, they'll figure out where everyone goes and goes forward, goes in the quarterfinals. So, but we're going to have some great teams playing tonight and some amazing curling. So you should tune in and get ready for some fun curling. And this game is going to go to the wire. Both teams are playing extremely well and calling a great game. So we are going down to the wire in this one. And maybe we'll have some time for some chowder before the 8 o'clock game, because I love seafood. We've had some great meals here in Halifax. We went to the Blue Nose 2 today and had lobster rolls, delicious. We were at La Frasca last night. Our server was amazing. Although I think he did overpour his cocktails and wine, because I don't remember getting back to the club and dancing, but I had fun. The food was delicious. Did we get the run? Did we get them all? Yes. Beautiful shot. Clear the house. Great shot. As I mentioned before, Grandy would love to blank and keep the hammer going back to 8. I think their ideal would be getting a deuce or a blank. Ha would love to force one and take the hammer back. So that was a great shot. Cleared everything out. Is she on the guard? No. Oh. Oh. So ideally, split the house, force the deuce now. You're in great shape. And of course, we're going to be here tomorrow for semifinals and the finals and the trophy presentation. So where's a better place to be on a Sunday than at a curling club, watching great curling or watching curling online? So keep tomorrow open, because we're going to have some phenomenal games tomorrow for the final. We have some great teams that are leading the pools. You're going to see some awesome curling tomorrow, and we're really excited to bring this online for you if you're not in the Halifax area. But if you're in the Halifax area, please do come down and watch some great curling. So that's great. Split the house. So good call. If you could hit this and roll behind the yellow and be buried, you're going to force Grandy to make a tough run back. So there's a great call to force it. Trying to make it curl because they want hit it thicker so they don't. They hit it too thick. So pretty open. Nice hit and roll behind the guard. And even though we do have sponsors who are sponsoring the event, it's always good to watch online and see some of the teams and their logos on their jerseys, because if you're in their local area, it's always great to when you go in the marketplace to use these sponsors that sponsor these teams, because the teams need the money to compete and travel. So it's good if we give back to people who do sponsor curling.
11-2.
They wanted to probably a roll, obviously behind the guard to make it harder to hit, but the closer they are to the center line, it's easier for Team Ha to roll behind that yellow guard and to force the run back. So they would have liked to have rolled a little bit more over. But still, they're in good position here to score their deuce. It's been a well-played game by both teams. Both teams have great resumes in the curling world. Both have won the Tier 2 Grand Slams. Both have had silver medals, world champions, junior champions. So great resume from both teams. So this is a really exciting game to watch. Trying to keep it straight so they get the roll, hit it as thin as possible. Teaser. So Team Grandy has to do a nice hit and roll over behind the guard. This one has to curl, can't roll out, has to roll. And I think we're going to roll out. Oof. Unforced error there because now the open hit. But like I said, it's not bad if they blank this in and keep the hammer going back into 8. Ideally, they would have liked the deuce. The deuce was set up, but that rollout is now the deuce is gone. If Ha makes a nice hit and roll in behind the guard, they might be forced to the 1. So Ha could put the pressure on here if she does hit and roll in behind that yellow guard and makes it a tough hit and forces Grandy to draw for the 1 and give up the hammer. Ideally, Grandy would love to either score the deuce or keep the hammer, but if Team Ha makes this roll, it's going to be a hard shot for Clancy in her last rock. So here we are, last rock of Team Ha in the 7th end here at the Stu Cells 1824 Halifax Classic. They're trying to keep it straight, so So a hit and roll out, keep the hammer is the call. I don't know why Team Ha was sweeping that, because they wanted to roll and they hit it pretty nose. I don't know why they were sweeping it so hard, because they needed to roll in behind that guard, but here we are. Last rock on the 7th end. Team Grandy would love the hit and roll out, keep the hammer. Down 1 going into 8.
Roll it.
Roll. Great shot. So at the end of the 7th, blank end, Grandy keeps the hammer. Down 1, coming home in the 8th. Both teams are 3-0. Would love to go 4-0 to move forward into the playoffs here at the Stu Cells 1824 Halifax Classic. Okay, welcome back to the Stu Cells 1824 Halifax Classic here at the Halifax Curling Club, and we have a nail-biter. Team Ha from South Korea and Team Grandy from British Columbia, both with 3-0 records in this pool. Both would love to be 4-0. It's a really small lead, 4-3 for Team Ha, but Team Grandy just forced a blank end in 7 and now has the hammer in 8. Looking to score their deuce and go to 4-0. So sit back and relax. This is going to be an exciting 8th end, the last game of pool play before we go into the playoffs tonight at 8 o'clock. So if you have no plans tonight, make sure you schedule stewcurls.com, curlingzone.com, and watch some great curling. The quarterfinals are going to be at 8 o'clock tonight. We're going to have some great matchups. It's going to be a fun evening. And while we're setting up the end, we have to always shout out our sponsors, Steel Subaru, Neon Train, and our partner sponsors, the Murphy Hospitality Group with Gahan House is sponsoring the patch here. The band last night was awesome. The band tonight's going to be great. So if you're in the Halifax area, I don't know why you're not coming down to the club. We have seafood chowder, we have wine, beer from Prince Edward Island Brewery Company, another one of our sponsors. We have a shooter menu, we have everything here and some great music and awesome curling. Like, where else would you want to be in Halifax? And a big shout out to Crombie REIT, Scotia Square, and the Curling Store for sponsoring the event, and myself, Stu, of the Stu Cells Realty team. Love that this event's part of my Stu Cells series. It's great to have it as part of the 8, and we love coming down here every November for a great spiel, great curling, and this club is awesome. And a big shout out to Teresa Breen and her committee for putting on a world-class event, and for the ice makers, Adam and his team, and of course the bartenders for keeping me in Chardonnay all weekend. So it's a great club and a great event. So perfect start. They would have want that higher, but went a little bit deep, but we do have the guard. We do have the second point in place. Ha is clogging up the front. So their objectives this end, Ha would obviously love to steal one and seal the deal. Grandy would like to score her deuce and take the win. So that's what they're working with, and we're off to a good start so far. Both of these teams are former Tier 2 Grand Slam winners, so they have a lot of experience behind them. Team Grandy representing the BC and the Scotties. Team Ha winning the Korean championships. Been to some World, Pan Continental games. Both of these teams have some junior players who won medals in junior events. So great resumes by both teams. So we are having a really exciting game here. As I mentioned, both are 3-0 in this pool, and one would love to be 4-0.
Do you like it with what speed do you like, Lynn? Slow as possible. Well, the best weight to have a chance at rolling on is a 12. Yeah, even if we don't roll on though, just rolling to here is really good. Yeah. Okay.
So the call is hit the guard off the center line and roll. Maybe to bite would be awesome if they could bite it and get in the top 12, but I think also just to guard their back one because that's their second point. And so this is a great call.
12-3.
Low.
Easy.
Yep.
12-5. 12-5.
Yep. Yeah.
Easy. Yeah,
Hard.
keep it off center.
Hard.
Keep
You
it
gotta
off
go.
center.
Any
12-8.
roll. Any roll. Any roll. Any roll. Any roll.
Get it on, get it on, get it on. No. Great shot. Got it off center. Guards the one in the back. So Team Ha is looking at removing that, rolling over to the center line, and maybe catching the back yellow on the way out, which would be an amazing shot and give them control over the center and take away their second point. Needs to curl, need to hit it a little bit thicker to catch the back yellow. And just hit it a little bit too thin.
Hi there. I don't know if I like that. How much? You don't have much of that one, eh? Okay. It's maybe there. No, we are. It's just that right now there's not like a great spot to go with this. You know? Although, like if we play this now, they make the double. That's not all bad.
Okay, very important shot. So the vice is going to come down and have a chat with Clancy and see. It's very key. You want to set up your dues, but you don't want to give Team Ha a win in there, a root in there to get a rock in there. I don't know if you go behind.
I know, I agree, which is why I think either you sit two now. Yeah.
I see what she's looking at, hitting the one on the 4 foot, but then you set up a double.
I don't like the way
But if you draw another one in and they just come down the center, like I think you have to start clearing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, you have one more. But yeah, like I think you just have to be careful of keeping it, like putting too many rocks in play to give Ha a chance to steal one or force one.
Or do you like 11? I don't mind throwing a little more weight. Okay, throw 11 then. Whoa! Sarah, when you can. Sarah,
So
when you
this
can.
has to curl a ton.
Hard, hard, hard.
Trying to make it
Hard,
curl.
Sarah, you gotta go, you gotta go. Hard, 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 hard.
Okay, got rid of it. So that's good.
Kind of ran like mine. Just a little more. I thought I was tight.
So ideally, she would have liked to have stayed in that shot. But still, they're in good situation. I think they just got caught. It didn't curl. It didn't finish as much as they thought it was going to finish. So now Hana's going to draw another one in. I think we're going to see Grandy start clearing out the front so she has a shot. So drawing behind the two reds, force Grandy to make a move on. I think she'll start clearing the front. I think they wanted to bury it a little bit more, but still a good shot.
You think you can chase it?
Can see enough of it.
It's very high. Play like.
The guard is high enough. Once you get by the guard, you're fine.
Like I think you're trying to leave your shooter as close to here as you can now. Okay. This is just top 4, full 4. Yeah. So. Yeah, I think throw probably just back here. Yeah.
So backline weight, just hit it. I don't know why she wouldn't want to roll behind the guard, but 'cause I think if you hit and you stay there, I think you give a really easy double. But backline weight, hit and roll.
Hey, wait then. No.
I think she pushed it out.
Lanes go.
Uh,
Lanes go.
Hack still.
No, I don't think that's coming back. Big mistake at that. I think she pushed it out. I think also her last one, I think she pushed out as well. That's unfortunate because, yeah, that miss really makes it hard for them to get their deuce now. If Ha puts another rock in there. And that's one of the unfortunate things about curling. When you're push it out or you're just offline with that weight, it just doesn't come back and it sails by and it's hard to watch because the one thing about curling, once you let it go and you know that you've missed it, it's like, whoa, like you can't do anything to it. You just have to let it go, and so it hurts because that was a key shot of the game. I wonder if you run the red back. You got to open up. I think, I don't know, hitting the guard, opening it up, and they have to put a guard back. Or if you try to run the red, and even if you don't do it and you open it up, Grandy's got to have a path into those 3 rocks, and I think, I don't know if that is going to get you. I don't think you can see enough of that one. And if you can't throw enough weight at it to move it, what are you doing? If you just tick it over, you're just ticking it over more buried. I think you run the front red, and if you hit it thin and it rolls out, then great. But that mic is still on because you can hear everyone talking. I think that mic is still on. Is it? No? Is it on? No. Okay, big shot here because it's not looking good. So I think the run of the red back on.
Whoa, no.
Ooh. It's not bad, it's better, because it gives at least an opening for Grandy to get in, and it does, the one on the forefoot is now more open, just the deuce is getting harder and harder to get. Because now we're down to skip stones. I like Haas' approach, just keep putting rocks in there. The only problem is that if you stick it out enough, you give an open double for them. But I still think this is a good, if you freeze it to the top 4, a double doesn't get you your 2. So it's a good strategy. I still think there's an in off on the one on the 8-foot there. Let's see where they put this one. So we're down to skip stones here in the last game of pool play before we go into the playoffs. Very exciting. We're going to have some great playoffs at 8 o'clock tonight. I hope you're ready. You have your meal, you have your beer, you have your wine, the couch is ready. StuCurls.com, curlingzone.com. Quarterfinals coming at 8 o'clock. But a very exciting game here. Team Ha, Team Grandy. We're on to skip stones. Both at 3-0. Both would love to be 4-0. So very exciting shot here to put some pressure on Team Grandy. Down 1 with the hammer. So great job by Team Ha, putting more rocks into the house, making it harder and harder for Team Grandy to get their deuce. So we're trying to hit and roll into the 2 rocks on the 4-foot, maybe push them out into the open. Big shot here for Team Grandy. You've got to move those rocks off the 4-foot in order to get your deuce. Has to make this work. Had to hit it thinner to get more of a roll. But the good news is the reds are open. The reds are open for a hit. I don't know if both would go, but because they're pretty frozen on top of each other, but I think they're going to throw a third one in there and take that away. It's looking tougher and tougher. Grandy for getting a deuce. I think a deuce is out. They're going to be lucky if they can draw into the button to force an extra. I don't think they can use that yellow. They can't see enough of that yellow on the outer. If they keep this open and you can get in, and I don't know if even if you hit those reds, both will go. Because I don't know if you have enough room to get through there. I don't know if it will spring out enough. It's not looking good for Grandy because she has the yellow. Maybe she can drive the yellow guard into the house. I think either call the freezing into the top, the 2 reds, or guarding it up are both great calls. Whatever happens, Grandy's going to have a really, really tough shot to try and get one and force an extra. But a very exciting game played by both teams. Both teams 3-0 in the pool. Both teams want to be 4-0 going forward. So a really close game, 4-3 in the 8th. Last rock for Team Ha. They don't have the hammer, trying to make it difficult for Team Grandy to get their 1 and force an extra. So I think the call is the guard clogging up the center. So the draw is impossible. Very exciting game. We started off with the blank and then a tight game all the way through to the 8th end. Both teams have played well. And if you're not doing anything tonight, 8 o'clock, we have the quarterfinals coming to you here on StuCurls.com, curlingzone.com. Quarterfinals are going to be exciting. But if you're in the Halifax area, do come down to the curling club. Oh, they're hoping for a wick off the yellow. Unfairsies. So out and got the yellow. Yeah. So I think we're drawing for 1 to force an extra end. I think that's the only shot they have. Very tough shot here, drawing for 1. 8th end when all the pressure's on you.
Yeah, it's
But great games played by both teams. But yes, 8 o'clock tonight, come on down. We have the Patch, sponsored by the Gahan House and Murphy Hospitality Group. We have one of our partner sponsors, Prince Edward Island Brewery Company. Have some beer here. And big shout out to our other sponsors, Steel Subaru, Neon Train, Crombie REIT, Scotia Square, the Curling Zone. We're down to the last rock. Team Grandy drawing in to force the extra end to tie the game up. Big draw here.
Wait if you can. Gotta wait.
Just some clinging by the sweepers. Must curl.
No.
On the guard now. It's got to curl, got to curl, got to curl, got to curl, got to curl. No. On the guard. Great weight. So that's it. Team Han will win the game 6-3. Last game of the pool play. Thank you very much for watching the Stu Cells 1824 Halifax Classic. We have quarterfinals coming up at 8 o'clock. You can see on Stu Curls and curlingzone.com. So go grab a quick bite to eat, grab a drink, and get back and come watch some amazing curling.